right, guys, we're back. This is our third and final video in this outfit, in this hair. But you'll probably get more of the backdrop until I rearrange the cottage. We are going to rearrange the cottage. My friend Margie doesn't come up as much as what she used to, so we're going to put a day bed with a trundle in the corner over here and open up all of this over here. And I don't know, maybe if I get a few people on YouTube who are FND warriors like myself, we can do some live chats or something like that on TikTok, or I don't know, does Instagram do stuff like that? I don't know. I do have a TikTok. I can't remember what the name is under. If you want to reach out to me, maybe I'll put a link. I don't know how to do that yet. I'll figure it out, to my Instagram and my TikTok. And I don't mind you being on my personal Facebook page. I don't have anything that I need to hide. Have y'all seen, I'm pretty much an open book, and that's how I want to keep this channel. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to give you false hope. I do not want you to take any of medical advice from me. I will just tell you the experiences that I've been through. And we're going to just go through this, and we're going to do a video or two a week. And if in 6 months to a year nobody's watching, then I'll know that everybody with FND out there has it handled. And if y'all got your crap together, I am happy for you. I'm just struggling to find my way. So today I want to talk about symptoms, some facts, and go through a list and tell you what I have and what I don't have. And then we can compare in the comments, if you leave me a comment, if you make it through this video. One day, I promise you, I'll slow down and I will learn to edit videos and make it look really professional. Or nah, I'm not gonna promise you anything, because I got too much stuff going on. You know, it's like I got doctor's appointments, my husband has doctor's appointments, we're fixing to get a puppy. I had told you that I had a dog die a couple months ago. She was a Frenchie. We are getting another puppy, and don't come at me about buying a purebred, because I do have a rescue dog. She's a Cocker Spaniel. She is my service dog, and she's super quiet and super serious, and I'll let you meet her one day. But I just don't want to have her up here right now because I'm just learning to do this. So, and then I have work in the park, and then my husband has a full-time job and we resell. So I'm just not going to shoot you this line of crap and be like, oh, yep, one day we're going to have this beautiful backdrop and we're just going to have this beautiful light system and we're going to have edited videos. And nah, we're just going to keep it like it is for now. So I did have to order glasses today. That was a big thing that I've been putting off. As many of you know, I told you earlier, I'm 48. I will be 49 this weekend in Savannah. That sucks, man. Like, I cannot believe I'm fixing to be 49. And like, I used to think during the summer that the summer went by like so slow, and the older I get, my days freaking fly by. Like, my life flies by, and I'm like, I'm closer to the casket than I am the cradle. And it is crazy to me. It's crazy to me to think that I don't have long left on this earth. And there was so much that I wanted to do. There were so many things I wanted to see. Like, yeah, pause. There's so many things I wanted to see, and I keep going back to Savannah. Excuse me while I get a drink, because like I'm having a swallowing moment. All right, thank you. Yeah, so like, I wanted to see the desert. I've never seen a desert. I've always wanted to see a moose. I've never seen a moose. I love animals, in case you haven't figured it out. I like them probably much better than I do humans. There I go with ums again in this video. Oh well, we're not going to edit it out. We're going to figure it out as we go. I started to say it again. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least you don't have to have a bloopers roll at the end, right? You're just going to get the bloopers and all. So just either keep scrolling or just hanging with me and laugh at me, because that's what you have to do with FMD. Sometimes you have to laugh at yourself. So I've wanted to see a moose, and I've wanted to see the falls, and I wanted to see a Joshua tree, and I wanted to go out and see like the huge trees like the sequoias. And there we go with and again. Change subject. Hard to believe that I'm not going to get to see those things probably, and my life will be over with. But that's okay. You know, at least maybe y'all have got something from these videos, and maybe my daughter has this brilliant, amazing legacy that she can live on through. And maybe my husband enjoyed his time with me while we were together. And that's all that matters, right? Like, you can't take money with you to the grave, and you can't take your material items with you to the grave, and you can't take what you think you need on this earth to the grave. And there we went with the and the again. Sorry. So I just try to be good and try to do what I can, and hopefully you enjoy some of these videos. But I've had 6 minutes of rambling on about myself, which I said I wasn't going to do, and just kind of goofing off with you guys a little bit, because I want to kind of try to keep a few of these videos lighter, so maybe that you see a little bit more of me, because I can be funny. I used to be really funny. Dang it. I used to be really funny before this disorder, and I do have moments of funniness. Not very often. I'm a pretty serious person now. Like, the disorder turned me into a very serious person. So what I would like to do today is go over some facts with you about FND, what the symptoms are. If you're new to FND, these are going to be your symptoms, maybe, possibly. I hope they are not your symptoms. I've had just about all of them. My symptoms cycle through. I cannot speak for everyone. All I can say is what mine do. And I'm sorry, I talk with my hands. So my symptoms cycle through. So mine will happen for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and then they'll move on, and then they'll go back to something that they've known, or they go back to something new. Crap. Y'all, I'm not going to edit it out. I'm sorry. I don't know how to edit. I barely know how to post to YouTube. So I'm sorry about the ums, and I'm sorry about the ands, and I'm sorry about the hand gestures, but that's who I am and how I talk. So yeah, we can't get upset about that. As I was saying, most of mine will stay with me for 2 weeks to 4 weeks. The average is about a 3-week, unless it's something that I've got in my head, like a tick. And then depending on whether it's depending on whether it is a motor tick or a vocal tick, it depends on how long it stays and if it'll move on. My movement ticks seem to not last as long. A lot of my ticks involve the right hand. My right hand and my right side seems to be primarily affected. So my right hand will throw things, or if it's writing, it will just kind of go off the paper. It will write backwards. I will text backwards, like the complete word. Like if I text that, THAT, it comes out TAHT, completely backwards. But to me, it looks normal. So I will text someone a sentence and it's completely backwards, and then you get the most confused text back. And I can't help it. So I think I told you I had to pick out glasses today. I think that was where I was going with this. And part of FND is attention span. So I got off on something. I picked out glasses today. I think they're super cute. That's a tick. Super. I'm on super. They're pink on the top and clear on the bottom, and they're kind of bigger around. And I really like them. They are going to be a transitional and a progressive lens. I've never worn glasses. I've only worn readers, and I only had to get readers when I got FND. because everything up close, I have double vision. So everything up close is just kind of wonky. And the right lens, they're having to make like special because there's some sort of stigmatism or something that's affecting the right side. So it'll be a couple of weeks before I get them. So my readers today, they're plastic. They're Betsy Johnson. They're just cheap readers. So they're going to glow off the screen when I'm talking to you, because I got to look at this thing that I wrote down to talk to you. And then when I get my new glasses, I'll show you my new glasses. But for now, you get me in readers. So we're going to go into teacher mode. This is my seriousness right here. I always forget to look right here too. Oh well, y'all can just click off or stay with me. So I figured out the word for the type of seizure that I had this past weekend that I was talking about that was mimicking narcolepsy. It is psychogenic, and it is spelled Pyschogenic. It makes up about 40% of the cases of narcolepsy with FND. FND really, most of the time, does not give you a true diagnosis of narcolepsy. These are just seizures in which you sort of disassociate yourself and go into a sleep state. They can be brought on by stress or trauma. And as I've mentioned, I have had a lot of stress lately. Apparently, I don't know how to manage my stress well. So we just got to work on that. But the short version is called PNES. So if you hear your physician say PNES, pardon me for a drink again. PNES, that is so you will know that that is a type of seizure that mimics narcolepsy. Pseudo seizures is what I was having before, in which I had tremors on the right side of my body. And then we talked about tics last time, so I wanted to give you a little update about tics. I'm sorry, I keep watching the time, and I'm trying not to like blind you with these fancy schmancy plastic readers here from Betsy Johnson. There's a heart somewhere. Anyway, they were at a thrift store for $1.25. So tics can be brought on with FND. And the difference between Tourette's tics and FND tics are functional tics. They usually present within having the diagnosis of functional neurological disorder, completely separate from a Tourette's tic disorder. A Tourette's tic disorder is usually discovered during childhood, and it starts not as suddenly and dramatically as what a functional neurological disorder tic does. So we're just going to say FND, okay? I was trying to say it a little bit more for people who are new to the channel and don't know what FND is. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to blind you, my readers. Every time I look this way, they get glary. So tics, the functional tics from functional neurological disorder are brought on by anxiety or stress, which we had talked about before. And they can contain verbal or movement. So say there's times when I feel like I need to stretch a lot, like there's something wrong. And so I'll kind of stretch my arm out a lot. And so that would be a tic. It almost feels like there's something hanging in there that I need to stretch, that there's something going on in my arm, and I will stretch it out a lot. And so that would be an arm tic that was brought on from the FND. Verbal tic we had talked about last time, and I'm not going to say it because then I'll have to say it, is there was a phrase that I heard from a movie, and I was on that and had to say it a good bit until it came out of my brain. And so now we're on super. So everything is super cute, super cool. I got to do it super quick. It's super good. Yeah. I'm about to drive my husband crazy with the super thing. He was like, you've got to take that down a couple notches. I don't know how to do that. I wish I knew how to do that. If any of y'all have a suggestion on how to take that down, that'd be great. And so the tics can be complex and dramatic, Whereas a Tourette's does not start out complex and dramatic. A Tourette's would start out usually more simple and just using like phrases, or a lot of people with Tourette's will hit certain parts of their body. And that seems to be one of the tics of Tourette's. I have not experienced that type of tic with FND. That's not to say that I won't at some point, because I do have the stretching tic, that it doesn't matter where I am, if I'm in the car, if I'm on the couch, whatever. If there's like something in that arm, I have to stretch it out. And I don't have a problem with that arm. The rotator cuff is torn, but other than that, there's no problem in my arm. So apparently it's just a tic. So what happens is with tics is your brain kind of gets stuck in a loop and it's sending the wrong signals. And I try to do research before I bring y'all things, or I try to tell you things from my point of view and how I experience it and what the physician has said to me. So I also kind of wanted to let you know that the Tourette's tics are treated differently than the functional neurological disorder tics. So the medication, I'm sorry, I'm in a wooden chair and I have to move. The functional neurological disorder tics are treated differerly than what a Tourette syndrome tic would be. And a lot of people think, and this channel is not going to turn into Tourette's, turn into a Tourette's channel. I just wanted you to know, if you follow, I think it's Balin on TikTok. She's so cute and she's adorable, and she's trying to raise awareness for Tourette's. And she has what they call, I think it's corpolalia, which affects 10% of people with Tourette's, which is the verbal cussing. And so a lot of people automatically associate people that have Tourette's with cussing, and that is not the case. Corpolalia, I think I'm saying that one right, is only in 10% of the population of Tourette's. So if you are on TikTok, if you'd like to look up, I think she goes by Bay, which is Bayy, I think, but she was on Dr. Phil, so y'all can look it up. Also, I wanted to kind of address the background of functional neurological disorder, and it was brought mainly in the 50s is when they started noticing the functional neurological disorder, but it wasn't picked up as functional neurological disorder and believed. It was considered hysteria. Mostly from what I've read in this statistics, is that it's mainly women who are affected. I do know, or have seen on Facebook groups, some men that are affected. But because these physicians back in the 50s, we didn't have MRIs and we didn't have CTs and things like that, they thought that it was women making things up. A lot of it occurred kind of with the postpartum depression after having a child. So they called it hysteria, and conversion disorder came after hysteria. And a lot of times, from what I understand, these women would be placed in mental homes or hospitals until they were supposedly getting over their hysteria, so to speak. So we've come a long way, and I really feel like we have a much longer way to go. There's thousands of us struggling. I know, like I said before in one video, that the UK is much better at acknowledging FND and having programs for FND. Australia is good for it as well. If you want to find out more symptoms, please visit fndhope.org. They have tools and tricks and a list of symptoms, and I think they have a tool that helps you find a physician in your area. So if you are looking for some resources, that would be a good place to start. That is where I started. There's also a guy, I think he's on YouTube or he's on Instagram, but he has a British accent, so I know he's from Europe or Britain or from overseas. And he does like a live, and he'll be on live for a couple of hours, and he will talk about his symptoms and the day he had, and he will answer questions about FND. And I cannot remember his name. if I think about it, I'll tell you in the next video. So a lot of people, I had to come to terms with what FND was, because I just kept thinking it's all in my head. It's all in my head. You know, I'm crazy. I'm going insane. I'm getting old. I'm getting senile. I'm getting dementia. No, I mean, it is all in your head. It really is all in your head. But I told you before on one of my first videos that I had a wonderful physician who said, yes, Angela, it is in your head, but it's a communication issue. And so I looked on one of the FND sites, and what they said was, and this was kind of word for word, is FND is a problem with how the brain receives and sends information to the body. So, you know, it may come in, you know, I need to put my hand on that pencil and write the word what, and my brain just might get it twisted, and it might pick up a pen and scribble nothing, you know, or it could throw the pen across the room, because my right hand has been known to do that. I was cutting lettuce one time, and I'm so thankful that nobody got hurt. I was cutting lettuce one time to make a salad, and I was in the middle of cutting with a knife, and literally my hand just slung the knife across the room, and my husband kind of ducks and runs, and we just laugh about it. And one of the ways that we knew something was going on was when I got out of my Mini Cooper one day. My husband is a gentleman, and he opens the door for me and shuts the door for me. He always has since the beginning of our relationship, but now it's probably for his safety and my safety. But I had a Yeti, and it was full of water. It was full of ice and water. And when he opened the door to get out, my right hand took the Yeti and just slung it on him. And he was covered with ice water. And he was like, what was that for? You know, thinking I was, you know, either playing or mad. It hadn't said anything. And I was like, I didn't do that. I honestly didn't do it. So we came up with this little thing that we were calling my hand. What was the hand on the Addams Family thing? Yeah. Anyway, another fact that I wanted you to know is that 1 in 25 people are misdiagnosed. So we could have a world out there of other people with FND that does not know that they have FND and do not have access to the resources and medication that it takes to help regulate some of your FND symptoms. My physician told me that the best thing you can do, you'll never truly get rid of your symptoms, but you can manage your symptoms. So like for my insomnia, he would give me something to help sleep, or like for the severe headaches, you know, something like Fiorset to help calm the headaches. So it's just about managing the symptoms and getting through life. Because that's the problem that we face with FND. It's something new every day. It's something different every day. Most of the time, you know, I'm not saying that's what every case is like. And mine seemed to kind of come in waves. Like I told you, it would last, you know, 2 to 4 weeks, and it would be about the same thing. And then it would move on to something else. And then every now and then it comes up with something new, which was like this past weekend when I got diagnosed with the PNES. I wanted to also say one more thing. You know, like I've been talking to y'all like from a serious, real place, and it doesn't matter if there's no one watching my videos. You know, like my hope is that one day, if I'm ever misunderstood by my daughter or my husband, or you know, something was to ever happen to me, you know, they could look back and understand this journey and what it does to the body. And if I'm talking to y'all and saying what my physician does, please don't take my advice to heart and do something. You know, if you're not supposed to be taking a medication for headaches or something like that, please don't do it just because it helped me. All I can do all I can do for you is tell you what makes things better for me. And so we're at 24 minutes. This is kind of getting to be a long video. I do not want to do a part 4. So I'm going to run through a list really quick of, and I'm not going to look at the camera. I can't read and look at the camera at the same time. So if you don't want to watch somebody read from a piece of paper, just click off. I wanted to give you a whole list of symptoms. If you're new to FND, you'll want to listen. If you just got diagnosed and the only thing right now that you have is dizziness and a little bit of like speech slur, woo, you need to sit down, pause everything, and listen to what I'm about to tell you, because it gets real. You can experience fainting, pain, chronic pain, seizures. So we figured out it's pseudo seizures, or like mine last week was like faking narcolepsy. I mean, it wasn't faking narcolepsy, it was mimicking narcolepsy. Tremors, spasms, balance problems, hearing problems. I have actually went deaf. I was standing somewhere one time and went completely deaf out of the blue for no reason. It came back, obviously. Paralysis or weakness. My doctor that I see, that I talk about every time I talk, he's only had one other patient with this, and one morning she woke up completely paralyzed from the neck down. Seriously, completely paralyzed from the neck down. And that is scary as hell if you think about it, to just wake up in a body that your brain misfires and just does what it wants to. So always be mindful, or have a plan, or have a, you know, like, I don't get internet. Like if I put anything on the internet, I got to go to Starbucks. From last video, Starbucks, to upload any videos that I can talk to you guys. But if you have internet, if you have an Alexa that you could set up an Alexa call someone, Siri, whatever you have, please have a plan in place. Bladder and bowel problems. I've experienced this. Like I will wake up one day and pee all day, or I wake up with diarrhea all day, or I wake up and I throw up all day. So that was TMI. I know. Sorry, y'all. Numbness and tingling, speech problems. Obviously, I've had that. You see my videos. I keep them unedited for a reason. No, I don't. There's 2 reasons. 1, I don't know how to edit a video and I ain't got time. 2, you're just going to see what happens with functional neurological disorder. You're going to watch the train wreck. You're going to watch me just... Vision problems. So I have double vision. I will be colorblind. I will be dyslexic. I have been blind 4 times. Woke up blind, and then twice, and then went blind in the middle of the day twice. Swallowing problems. I'm kind of experiencing that a little bit today. So y'all have seen me grab a drink today a little bit, which I'm sure there's like a YouTube etiquette thing on that. Cognitive problems, sleep problems, dystonia, stroke-like symptoms. That's what happens if you get FND. Every time you go to the ER, you're going to get tested for a stroke. It's just a given. You just got to deal with it. Disassociation. I have this a good bit, especially in a stressful situation. Cognitive fog. Yeah, brain fog, chronic pain. I think I've said that. Dizziness, anxiety, lots of anxiety, fatigue and depression. Those are very real for me. Synscope, which is almost like kind of fainting like spells. Problems with your gait. I think I looked that up, and that's about 40% of patients who have FND. Facial drooping. I want to talk about that really quick for a second. We're almost at 30 minutes, looking at the timer thing on my phone. But I'm very self-conscious, and I don't know if y'all can see this or not. And please, you can point it out to me, because I need to know. I'm very self-conscious getting my pictures made. If I take these glasses off, there's some days that literally this side of my face, my eyebrow will be about that much lower, and my face will droop. And I've noticed since coming up with this FND, I have this spot right here, and it stays numb right through here a lot. Like from here to here, it almost feels like there's a dentist shot. And no, I have not had surgery there or procedures there. I don't have Botox. Like I said, I'm fixing to be 49. I am what I am. Not that I'm against it. I don't have the money for it, and I'm just having to age like I am. But I haven't had any, I mean, I had a thyroid surgery years ago where I had my thyroid out. But I noticed in like I think one of my first videos that you could kind of see it more prominent. So a lot of times I try to turn kind of this way a little bit, or my hair is definitely my security blanket, and that keeps people from staring at me so much. And I just like long hair. It reminds me of my grandmother, and she kind of practically raised me. So anyway, and I know I'm probably too old to have hair this long, whatever. But if you notice when I talk, sometimes this side will not open all the way, but this side will. And then right through here at the eye area, there's a little bit of a sag. And I notice it, and it's more prominent in some videos. And so if anybody asks you, or if you look at it and think, oh, that girl has been drinking, no, that girl's got FND, and the side of her face is just hanging droopy. Headaches, I think I mentioned that. Non-epileptic seizures, I mentioned that. Loss of speech, that's happened to me before about 3 times. I have lost my ability to speak, and in that case, I just text my husband like, what the heck? I can't talk anymore. This is how we communicate. Tremors, memory loss, I struggle with that a good bit. And I'll tell you a story about that really quick, and I just have a few more to go, and then we're going to wrap it up. But when my best friend died, like the 3rd or 4th day after he had passed away, I woke up and completely forgot that he had died. Completely. And that was the worst thing. One of the worst things that this FND does to me is wipe my memories. It takes out my short-term memories to where I forget what the frig I ate last night. So like if I ever get pulled over by a cop or have to go to court for something, I'm not going to have an alibi. I'm just going to tell you straight up, like I will have no alibi because I can't remember what I did the day before. But my memory had wiped the whole like 3 days out from my best friend passing away. So unfortunately, I had to be told again that my best friend had passed away, and I had to experience it all over again. And that was the worst and coolest tricks or disorder, whatever has done to me, was having to relive my best friend's death all over again because my brain decided it was going to erase that. So that was fun. So I said memory loss, stammering, tics, we talked about that earlier. Paralysis, I talked about that earlier. Sorry, I think I wrote a couple things down twice. Temporary blindness and deafness, we talked about that. Drop attacks and double vision, we talked about that. April is FND Awareness Month. So if any of you are new to FND, you can put a banner up or get shirts. April is FND Awareness Month. We are obviously in June, which is Pride Month. So happy Pride Month to any of you that are surprised. There we go, slurring the words. Happy Pride Month to any of you who are Pride members and who are watching this channel. You're loved and appreciated, and all of you are loved and appreciated. I don't care, like I said before in a video, don't care who you vote for, don't care what your religion is, don't care what the color of your skin is, and who you love. As long as you're happy and you're loving someone and you're a good person, you're welcome here. And I think that was all. I did wanted to tell you, I think I forgot to mention in my last channel where I was kind of talking about things I love to do. If by any chance, and this is not like a complete plug for me, but if by any chance you are interested in any of my items, we do sell vintage items. So like little salt and pepper shakers or home decor. I do sell clothing, shoes, men's and ladies. I don't do a lot of kids stuff. I don't have kids, so I don't deal with a lot of kids items. But the eBay store for my husband is under Whimsical Raven, resell. And I may link it up to there. And so just know that if you do see something that you like, message me and I will give you a really good deal, because I know how hard it is with FND. If you're trying to work, or if you can't work, or if you're out of work and you have a job interview and you see an outfit that you like, or shoes, please message me and let me know. I would love to help out a family member with FND, because we need to be like one big support group, and I don't want anyone to be excluded from this channel. And if you, like I said, if you are taking a vacation and it's really important to you, you got a date night, you know, for the first time in a while, you see something you like, please message me and I will give you a great deal. And just know that anything that you buy from our eBay store, we're going to try to open a Poshmark store as well. It goes to help support my medical bills, and it keeps, you know, me in housing, and it just helps with my life in general. So we're at 35 minutes. I'm going to call it. I hope you have enjoyed the true me and the unedited me and the somewhat funny and quirky me at times. I definitely marched to the beat of my own drums, and when I was a child, I tried to conform into what everybody wanted me to be, a Girl Scout and a whatever that is that they do at church, brownies, or no, that's not, I think that's a Girl Scout thing. What is it they do? GA or something. And that's just not me. I love nature. I love sitting under trees. I have an egg chair up on the corner of the property here that literally like 8 inches. If you swing that egg chair and get it going good, you're going to fall down the side of a cliff. So don't come to my house and swing in that egg chair if you have FND, because you're going to fall down the mountain. I like to pick up snakes at the park. The snake wrangler at the park, whenever they get a snake, they call me. I've studied snakes, and I do know the difference between poisonous and non-poisonous. I love crystals. I love to read. I like to color. I love to just ride in the car and listen to music. Like, I love 70s music. I'm a child of the 70s, so I love me some Eagles. And I'm really excited. Next weekend we'll be in Savannah, and then I have one more little trip coming up. It's a Brothers Osborne concert. I'm obsessed with Brothers Osborne, and I'm super excited because I love TJ. I know he bats for the other team, but TJ, his voice, ooh, so dreamy. So I'm really excited. I've got some fun stuff coming up if my brain will just stay focused and let me do it. And those are the only 2 trips that we really got planned or coming up. We can't do very much with this disorder. So we've been saving a little bit, and my husband has been picking up pressure washing jobs in the RV park. And if y'all ever want to see like a day in the life of a RV park camp worker, let me know. If you want to see a day in the life of a reseller, or if you just want to see like a tour of anything that I have, you know, my house, my crystal collection. Like I said, my best friend was a gemologist, so I have a lot of beautiful cut pieces that he had cut and given me. His favorite stone was labradorite, so if you'll hang with me, this was one of his stones. So it had a flash, kind of a blue, different colors. But anyway, I just have a lot of like quirky little things from like a lot of vintage stuff. And we do a vintage market in Asheville, and yeah, so that's kind of the story of my life. And I'm just here to educate y'all about FND, and I'm an open book. If there's anything you want to ask me if I don't know the answer. If it's medical, if I don't know the answer, I have a doctor who can give you an answer. I'll be glad to ask him. He cannot give you medical advice, but if it's something really weird that's new that I haven't heard of, I'll be glad to reach out to him, because he's an advocate as well. So we love him. We send him lots of love. And y'all just keep at it. Just keep your chin up. And if you've hung in here for the 39 minutes and 20 seconds that this video has ran, just know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and you're welcome here. And please leave some kind comments. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.